Hello, my beautiful, gorgeous dance baby, and welcome to another episode of More Than Dance. Today, we are talking about creating the ritual around doing something that you really want to do. In this case, we're talking about dance, creating the ritual around going to dance. And this ritual is to be created for you so that you have the ability to do the things that you set yourself out to do. And so that you don't get lost in the conversations that you have with yourself of should I go, should I not go, should I stay home? It's kind of like a form of discipline when you have a ritual because it's telling you, hey, this is on the schedule today. Like we got to do it. And it's that readiness that gets you not overthinking it. How many of you have gone home from work, laid on the couch, and then all of a sudden, because you got so cozy, you're like, all right, well, I'm not going to go grocery shopping. I'll do that tomorrow. Or I'm not going to go to the gym like I said I would. Or I'm not going to go to dance class because I'm cozy now and I deserve this rest. And this is where it's so difficult because discipline is going to tell you, get up out of that couch and let's go. And the side of us that's like so kind and gentle to ourselves is going to say, stay, you're cozy right now. When do you get to do this? You haven't done this in so long. Your body deserves it. You're stressed this week. And we get to, in that moment, choose who we want to listen to. Do you want to listen to the militant disciplinarian inside your brain saying, come on, let's go. You did this. You told us you were going to go. Or do you want to listen to the coddling side of you that's like, they're there. And we get to make a choice. And it all goes down to goals. Because if you have a goal to show up for yourself, then you get to decide, well, how do I need to be shown up for myself today? Do I need to rest or do I need to get to class? And it can be hard to make those decisions. This is why thinking ahead of time and coming up with your ritual or your plan for your week is going to be more beneficial. And let me tell you why. So there's a busy week coming up and you have a couple things allotted in time slots. You may be doing a project in your house. Maybe you have a friend date. Maybe you're driving somewhere that you know there's going to be traffic, but you get to do an errand that you've been putting off. And then you, of course, have your dance allotment and you wanted to go to dance twice this week. Well, let's say that the traffic took longer. Let's say that the project was a little more difficult, took another hour. Whatever one of those things is last on your list of priority is the one that you're probably going to do away with. Versus if it's set in stone that that's what you do on Mondays, then nothing else will seep into that time. For example, Mondays, Josh and I declare that that is our daytime off. Not nighttime, because obviously we have classes at night on Mondays, but we declare that that day is our sacred time together. And it's kind of like, side note, Monday is a horrible day to take off. Everything is closed. It's like maybe the worst day of the week to enjoy yourself with your significant other. However, for this time being in our schedules right now, that is our sacred time. So when I'm talking to a potential client or meetings, that day is never available for those things. So I just had someone approach me for a private lesson and they want to do something on Mondays. And I get to say, sorry, unless it's after 8:30, it's not available for my day and I can't help you out. However, if I just kept it open and then in the moment that day, I was like, oh, I feel like doing it. But then what is that going to mean for Josh? He's arranged his day to be completely free so he can hang out with me. Or if he ever did that to me, I would have been like, well, what about our day? So that's why when we plan and we think ahead and we have something called non-negotiables, we listen to them. And our disciplinarian self listens to them, and we get ourselves into a place of autopilot. And this place can be really beneficial. It can also go the other way. And I think I've talked about this before in terms of following your pain and living in your pain. You get into an autopilot and it's not good because you're predicting your future based off of your pain. And this is the opposite of that. This is staying true to your commitments and staying true to the things that you really do deserve in life. It just takes a little work to get there. There's going to be moments in our lives where we just don't feel the best. We don't look our best. Maybe we're bloated. Maybe we have our period. But if your non-negotiable is I'm going to class because it's Tuesday and every Tuesday I go to class, then you better go to class no matter how you feel that day, no matter what excuse you can come up with that day. Because I got to tell you, we are geniuses at coming up with excuses. I mean, we can excuse ourselves from the biggest things just because we are so savvy at creating excuses that we actually believe and we can rationalize. So on Mondays, when I say no, I am honoring a boundary, yes, and I'm honoring a ritual in my schedule. The ritual being that's Joshy time. And when you are setting out to come to class and maybe you notice yourself falling off a little bit, maybe you haven't been in a week because things come up or things go on, maybe it's time to check your boundary and say like, oh, did I say yes to going out to dinner on that night that I normally go to dance because that was the only night everyone in the group could meet? Potentially. Did I decide to stay late at work when normally I would leave work at this time and then be able to get to my class at this time? And what's happening is you are allowing something to become a bigger priority than yourself and all the benefits that come from coming to dance. And it is very difficult, let's say, when we get into a season of doubt or a season of depression or a season of anxiety or a season of like maybe that time, maybe you're like a seasonal person, like when it starts to get dark early, it might hit you in a weird way and your motivation might not be there. And remember, motivation is not what fuels our momentum. Momentum is what fuels our motivation. So if we cross the channel off at having any momentum, well, we're not going to have motivation. It's almost like once the wheels stop turning, you're not moving anymore. So once you decide to stay at home, you're not moving anyway. So you're like, oh, well, I'm just here. I'm just on the couch. It's not like I couldn't, go to class next week but you're losing the momentum of staying in your schedule and staying in your ritual and staying true to your non-negotiable. So that's why it can be nice in these moments where you feel like a little wishy-washy of being pulled into that bed or being pulled into the couch or being pulled to go, do something that's a little off schedule for you. It might be nice to fall into a ritual. And a ritual before class can be fun. I always tell my dancers to make sure that they eat before they come to class. So it could be that you have an experience around a late snack or your early dinner. And maybe it's like special because you have your special dance meal. Maybe it's, you do your makeup in a special way. And I always think doing makeup, it's one of those things, it's like, it can be kind of annoying. Like, oh, God. Like even sometimes when I'm getting ready for the podcast, I'm like, okay, time to do my makeup. And you instantaneously like feel the stuff on your skin. And sometimes it's nice to just not feel that on your skin. And then I mind check myself and I'm like, all right, and this is why. And it's helpful to be able to think yourself out of those things. And it's also helpful to flip into gratitude and think like, oh, how nice it is that I get this 15 minutes to put on my makeup, or how nice it is to take this time and just like relax and do some art because doing makeup is art. So when you get to flip your mindset like that, you get to receive a little bit more. So from there, then we go and we pick out our outfits, and that at the studio we have theme nights. So whatever the colors are, let's say it's red and black or red and purple. What comes from that is the ease of knowing like, okay, well, this is my black section of my closet. This is my purple section of my closet. I'm going to pick out something from these colors and really take your time with it and like enjoy the process of picking out those clothes. Enjoy yourself for where you are in your body right now. And I know sometimes picking outfits for dance can be daunting. It can be intimidating. It can be sad. It can kind of like confront you and make you feel like you haven't made any progress. Or I know when our bodies are feeling like puffy or fluffy, like it doesn't feel good sometimes to put on like tighter clothes. And that's when you get to say like, okay, as part of my ritual, when I feel this way, I'm going to pick out stuff from my baggier section of clothes. So having those things in place can be vital for you to arrive at class. If it was so easy for you to pick out your makeup and get ready for class, don't you think that you would go more? If you had it in your schedule that no matter what, on Tuesdays, we went to class at 7 p.m., you would literally say to yourself like, okay, well, I gotta go. Bye guys, gotta go. And your body would just like, I'm about to be in Halloween season right now, so I'm just like thinking of like the mummies and the zombies, like, oh, I gotta go there. I gotta go to class. Non-negotiable. Let's go. And being able to separate yourself like that is where the real growth came in, because you're not listening to the part of you that's, oh, I'm cozy, or oh, you're listening to the part of you that wants something. You're listening to the part of you, remember, be, do, have. You're listening to the part of you that is already that person you're becoming. What does the person who is the amazing dancer do? Do they stay at home on the couch, or do they go to class? They go to class. So you're embodying that persona when you stay true to your rituals. Now, I've heard of other rituals too. Like, I think I mentioned this slightly before, but one of my students does this whole stretch thing before they go to class. And that can be so nice too. It might be just like a nice moment with yourself to just be like, okay, I'm going to sit. The power of a minute. Think about that. Think about what a powerful minute could be. I think about this in terms of, I just recently brought some dumbbells into my apartment from the studio, and right before I hopped in the shower last night, I just did a quick little bicep curl while my water was getting hot. And yeah, it's not the biggest workout that I could have ever done, obviously. And it was also a nice little use of a minute that I wasn't going to be doing anything. My towel was also being warmed up, which I love a towel warmer. So those dead end times are where we can find ourselves being really productive. And that time where you're in between the end of work and the start of dance, you get to utilize that time and make use of it. And if it's in your schedule and you listen to your schedule, you will do it. So I have a little challenge for you, and it's to take a little inventory of your schedule as it is right now. And you might realize also that you have different schedules for different times of the year or different seasons of yourself. And one of those could be this is my I'm on it schedule. And then this one could be I'm on my period schedule. And this one could be I need to figure out more energy schedule. And this one could be I'm in a social world. I want to experience being social and having fun. That to me is the schedule before summer starts, or when a season is changing, a transitional schedule. And you can have as many schedules as you want. The thing is, do you know what they are, and can you go to them? Today I'm feeling XYZ. What's my schedule for this? Oh, blah, 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 da, da, da. Oh, okay, great. Looks like I have dance at this time, and off I go. I'm going to use this hour and a half that I have instead of doing what my body really wants to do, which is take a nap or sleep. And instead of doing that, I'm gonna find my outfit, I'm doing my makeup. Other things you can do too. You can stretch, you can meditate. It doesn't have to be something that is aesthetically looking. It doesn't have to be about makeup, but it doesn't have to be about the outfit. It can be something that's more internal. And I hope that when you take your inventory and you figure it out, you're able to find yourself making more commitments to you. Because the only person that's losing is you when you don't stay true to your commitments, or when you find yourself just getting sucked up into work or things that aren't serving you. And don't get me wrong, work serves you for sure. And it serves one part of you. And because we reference you as this wheel of all these different pieces of pie, you want to feed all of those buckets of yourself. So if you find yourself only feeding one bucket of your entity, then that's where you're going to lose, because the other ones are hey, remember me? Hi, I like hanging out with friends. Remember me? Or, hey, I like going to dance class and learning. Remember me? Can we go back? And your gravitational pull is so hard in that you feel that's your only way. You feel that's your only choice. So find out where you can make things a little bit more well-rounded. Find out where you can make yourself have a beautiful ritual around doing something that is hard right now to do, and learn to love it. And that might sound funny, and I'm going to do a podcast on this, but I'm going to tell you a little glimpse of it now. We get to learn to love things, and we do so from the standpoint of appreciation. When you grow to have more appreciation for something, you grow to love that thing. And the most perfect example of this that I can share is when my students come to class and they might not enjoy the song at first listen. And when they learn the routine, and when they learn the choreography, and when they become a master at listening to the song, guess what? They learn to love the song based off of the fact that they grew appreciation for it. So when you start dancing, you might feel a little drained. And when you start continuing in that routine of I go to dance at this time, it can feel tiring. And when you grow an appreciation for that feeling, for like, wow, I'm doing something that makes me tired, I'm challenging my body, you're going to grow to love that. Your body is also going to adjust. We talked about that in terms of transitions. Like your body has this stamina gap where all of a sudden it's just like, oh yeah, this is what she needs me to do today. I get to go to dance class today. Off I go. We learn to appreciate it. We learn to love it. So check out your calendar, check out your week schedule, check out your day schedule. Find the little hidden gems of minutes or hours or half hours where you can create a ritual behind going to something. Understand, number one, that you get to create that time for your ritual. Understand, number two, that we get to create a boundary around something that is a non-negotiable. And number three, we get to learn to love what it is we are doing as we are building ourselves up. So I hope you find a moment to create a ritual out of something that you're already currently doing and find more love for it. So I hope this was helpful for you today. And if it was, it would mean the world to me if you left a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the dance floor.